All right, town manager report.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the first item is more of an announcement, actually. The Lunenburg Police and Fire Memorial will be this Sunday, June 8th, 2025, beginning at 9 a.m. at the Lunenburg Public Safety Building. The ceremony commemorates those from the Lunenburg Police and Fire Departments who have passed. So if you are able to join us on Sunday, please do so. In addition, the Lunenburg High School graduation is this Saturday, June 7th, beginning at 10 a.m. Select board members have been invited to attend. If you are planning to attend and have not yet RSVP'd, please do so. And congratulations to the class of 2025. We look forward to celebrating you. The long-awaited conversion to our financial software cloud-based Munis system was completed last Friday. Overall, I would say that the transition went smooth. There were a few bugs that were quickly triaged between Finance Director Ezekiel Ayala, Munis, and the town's IT vendor. I really want to thank Ezzy for spearheading this transition and seeing it through to the finish line. So now that we are 100% in the cloud, the next step is to get the employee self-service portal going. That'll take about 3 months to fully integrate that, but then it will really help streamline our operations in terms of time off and calculating benefit time and payroll time. So excited for that transition. Next announcement, tri-board meetings. So we had some conversations with the select board, with finance committee, with school committee about what does the budget look like? How do we get there? There's been a lot of different conversations. So in an effort to develop a plan for the FY27 budget, a 3-year financial forecast, and identify and discuss consolidations and efficiencies, the finance director and I have developed a proposed timeline for tri-board meetings that run from July to January. Tri-boards being the select board, the school committee, and the finance committee. The schedule is very aggressive once we put it down to paper. In fact, starting in July, we're going to be running right up against it to get to December. But I think it's doable. It's aggressive, but doable. Before those start, and just to make sure that everybody's on board, the chair has invited the chairs of the other 2 committees to set up a meeting next week, as well as staff. We are hopeful, and I think that she's going to be able to attend, but that Dr. Fortuna, the new superintendent, who will be officially starting in July, has indicated that she'll be able to join us for this conversation as well. And then department heads will be viewing the schedule tomorrow at the department head meeting for their first impressions of it, but essentially getting their marching orders of where to begin and where they fall. Are there any questions about this? That particular one? Okay. All right. The town has received notification that the owners of 222 West Townsend Road are intending to sell their property. This parcel is currently in Chapter 61B status, recreational land. And so, in accordance with the Select Board's right of first refusal policy, the notification that we received has been sent to Town Council. Town Council will determine the sufficiency of the notice. If the notice is deemed sufficient, it sets the clock back to the day after it was mailed. So we have 30 days for various boards to weigh in. So I have already sent the notification to the Board of Assessors, Planning Board, Conservation, Open Space, and Agricultural Commission, letting them know they have until June 29th to provide feedback or input to the Select Board on the property. The building commissioner is going to be transitioning select board licenses and permits to the OpenGov software. I will be asking the chair to place this particular item on an agenda for a vote, but just to highlight it, as part of this process, I will need a vote of the select board as to how the board would like to sign off on the new licenses and permits. Right now, you are signing wet ink. With this transition, we can have it set up that you'll get a DocuSign and you can affirmatively affix your signature via DocuSign, or we can set it up where once we enter in the date that the board approved it, that the system will automatically generate the signatures to affix to the licenses and permits. So think about your preference. We can discuss it in the future, and we are going to be beginning with the special event permit first to get that one on there, as that is most likely to be encountered over the summer month, and it's a little cumbersome. Accounting training. So I have asked the finance director to schedule an FY26 kickoff training session in June for all staff members that process and touch invoices. For some, this will be a reminder of best practices for how you maintain your accounts and track your expenditures throughout the year. And for some, this might be a first-time learning opportunity. So we are planning to film the training so that it can be used as a teaching tool for future staff members or those who need a refresher. Records retention training. In advance of the TC Passios cleanout, I'm holding a records retention training for staff, as some are very unfamiliar with the process, and perhaps this has been a barrier to purging. So we're going to go through that and begin the summer of the purge at TC Passios. There's quite a lot of paper over there. The Neshoba Associated Boards of Health have announced that they will be pausing their monthly nursing hours and blood pressure clinics for the months of July and August due to staffing changes and uncertainty around grant funding. The Senior Center Director is aware, or the Adult Activity Center Director is aware, but for folks that were planning on attending one of the July or August clinics, unfortunately those have been canceled. Next Monday is the Goals and Objectives Workshop. So I have placed in your June 9th folder prior fiscal year Select Board and Town Manager Goals and Objectives, as well as examples from other communities, as well as goal-setting tools. So some of those are helpful for you to review in advance of Monday. And we are the beginning stages of planning a summer staff event and are looking at August for a date, but stay tuned. Okay, recruitment, no project updates of significance to apprise the board of this week, but updates for recruitment. The administrative assistant planning position at 36 hours per week has been advertised with an anticipated start date of July 1st. Applications have been a little slow to come in for this position, so if you know anybody that might be interested in that position, please encourage them to apply, but we are going to start the interviews next week. We still have the dietary aid position at the Adult Activity Center at 9 hours per week. And then the land use director. So just today, I executed a contract with Jasmine Farinacci, who will be providing interim planning director consulting services to the town during this period. She will be working primarily remotely at 20 hours per week, but her contract requires that she provide a minimum of 4 hours of virtual office hours where she can be available to residents, developers, and any applicants that have questions. Matt Brenner, as you know, has been really over there as chair of the planning board, handling a lot of things for the planning department, but his time is coming to an end. So I appreciate so much Matt's ability to step in, but now Jasmine is going to be stepping in that capacity. She is fully remote as she has a full-time job in another community. So why isn't this just posted? We talked about this a little bit last time, but discussions are ongoing regarding the reconfiguration of the land use director position. There are several elements of this position that are atypical, particularly the oversight of the land use director over the building commissioner, as well as over other land use departments. This particular structure it possibly makes the position less desirable to folks on the market who really have a planning and economic development mindset. So a meeting was held last week with the building commissioner, planning board chair, and assistant town manager, and we are now at the point where we're inviting, and you should see in your emails, chairs of the Conservation Commission and Zoning Board of Appeals to weigh in, and we're looking to have that meeting next week. I do have a question out to Labor Council about the configuration of this position as well, and that may kind of direct how we go. In my opinion, I don't believe it needs to go to town meeting, but that may be a question. And the communications and IT manager position we talked about at town meeting, it's not a new headcount, but it is a new position that was advertised at 32 hours per week. It was posted today. It's internal posting only, due June 17th, 2025. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Jen. Are there any questions for the town manager?
I have 2 topics.
Okay.
One, the bridge at Flat Hill.
Yep.
Where do we stand on that?
So I can answer some questions in an open session on the bridge at Flat Hill. It does remain a legal dispute.
Okay. So no change?
No change. I will say that our legal counsel has been having a very difficult time in communicating with the counsel for the vendor. I have been told that tomorrow, there is going to be a check-in.
Okay.
And then we'll see. There is nothing, since communications have been initiated through council, I have not heard any new information.
Okay, that's fine. Then my other questions are regarding Munis. So we are currently on the latest version?
Yes.
Right? Okay. Sewer bills,
Yes.
when are they due to go out? I'm curious of how and if, and hopefully it will help the sewer bills
Well,
going, because